Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Kajabi pipelines because I get this question all the time. People ask, what is a pipeline? How is it different from a funnel? How do I use one? Like, where do I even begin? And why is my Kajabi account only limited to, depending on your account, either 3, 15, or 100 pipelines? So we're going to dive into all that today. So first up, a pipeline is a series of elements strung together in Kajabi. It can include landing pages, forms, email sequences, events, and offers. The idea of a pipeline is that someone enters at the starting point, like a lead magnet opt-in page. They go through the entire process and they end up purchasing something from you, which is your offer. So what the pipeline does is it takes people who maybe have never heard of you before, warms them up, introduces them to who you are, and then presents them with a paid offer. So a pipeline can really be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. The simplest one is a sales page and a thank you page connected together. That's considered a pipeline. One thing to keep in mind is that you always want your offer to be the last step in the pipeline, because that's really the point, is to make sales. Something else to keep in mind, a Kajabi pipeline can only include one offer. So if you have different payment plans, you would need to choose which one you want to connect to that pipeline. So people ask, how's a pipeline different from a funnel, a sales funnel, or marketing funnel? You might have heard those terms. It's the same thing. Pipeline is just Kajabi-speak for a funnel. One thing to keep in mind, if you are used to using a platform like ClickFunnels or Deadline Funnels and you switch to Kajabi pipelines, you don't have quite all the same functionality. ClickFunnels, I know that you can include multiple upsells, order bumps, downsells, tripwires, all this. Kajabi doesn't have quite all that functionality, but if you're just getting started and just building a basic funnel or pipeline, then Kajabi is totally sufficient. Another question I get asked sometimes is that people say, I'm on the basic plan, I'm only allowed 3 pipelines. What do I do? And this part is super important. You can create your own pipeline without using any of the pipelines allowed by the Kajabi plan. So if you're in Kajabi and you go to marketing, pipelines, and create a new pipeline, you'll see a bunch of different pipeline templates. Again, though, it's just a series of Kajabi elements that have been strung together. So you can create each of those elements and connect them to each other. So your customer's experience is going to be exactly the same without using up any of your allotted pipelines. The one thing that you will miss out on by doing it manually is that you won't be able to view Kajabi analytics. So with Kajabi pipelines, you can view stats. You can see how many people landed on your opt-in page, how well it converted, meaning how many people signed up, and then how many people ended up ultimately purchasing the offer. You can't automatically view those statistics if you're putting together your pipeline manually, but you can always figure out how many people went to your landing page, how many people submitted the form, and how many people purchased that offer, and then just do the math. So now we're going to jump into my computer, and I'm going to show you how you can create a sales pipeline within Kajabi without actually using up any of your Kajabi pipelines. Okay, so we are in my Kajabi account now. If you want to see the pipelines that Kajabi provides, you'll go to Marketing and Pipelines. And then we're going to do New Pipeline. So we're going to use this sales page OVO. OVO stands for Opt-in Value Offer. So we're going to see we're going to create pipeline. And I know that I said that we were going to not use a Kajabi pipeline. But the point is of doing it this way is that we're going to see how Kajabi sets up a pipeline and then see how we can recreate that just on our own. So you have to choose an offer you wish to sell. Again, the offer is going to be the last step in the entire pipeline. So we'll just choose this one, generate pipeline. And it'll take a minute because right now it's creating all the elements. It's creating your pages, your emails, your automations, your forms. All the parts of your pipeline are currently being built. Okay, so this is our sales page OVO pipeline. This is your opt-in page. It's a landing page. And if you hover down here, it'll tell you that there's a form on that page that people fill out. And there's an automation set up so that when that form is submitted, they are subscribed to an email sequence. So the next step in the pipeline is the email sequence itself. So Kajabi has written you this 8-email sequence. The next step in the pipeline is your sales page. And then finally, your offer checkout. So this is going to be connected to that offer that I selected. Everything else is just templates that Kajabi has created. So I'm going to show you how to recreate this exact pipeline without using this pipeline. So in order to recreate this on our own, we need to create each of these elements. So I already did that because that's kind of just the most time-consuming part of the process. So I created these landing pages, which you can go to website, pages, and I'm in the way, this new landing page, and you can create your own opt-in page, sales page. There are templates within Kajabi. So that's what I did. I created a lead magnet opt-in page, a lead magnet thank you page, and a sales page. Also, the other element of the pipeline is this email sequence. And again, that one's pretty time consuming. So I just created that. You go to marketing, email campaigns, new email campaign. And when you click here, you can choose either broadcast or sequence. So I chose sequence. This is a series of emails that can be triggered by an automation. That automation being when they fill out that form. So I created this 4-email sequence already. And then that first email is the lead magnet delivery. That's when you're either giving them the actual lead magnet, usually as a PDF attachment. And then you have a series of emails warming them up, introducing them to who you are and what you have to offer. We're not going to get into the details of this right now because that's like a whole other beast. But then at some point, you're then going to introduce them to your paid offer. So I have that here on the day 7 email. And you're going to tell them about your course or your offer, and you're going to link to your sales page. So I'll show you how to set up that button action within your email. Here's the text block and then the button block, which I added this link text, learn more about the course, go to a landing page, and then it's the course sales page that I created already. So your course sales page then is going to give them a lot more information about your product, about your course, and then from there, they're going to be able to get to your checkout page. So I sent this email to myself already, and within here, they have this button, learn more about the course. They click there. And this is a really long sales page. You're gonna tell them everything about your course or your product. And then this enroll now button takes them to the checkout page for this offer. So again, that offer, the checkout page is the last step in the process. So the last part of the pipeline that we're going to do is creating the form. And this part we're going to do together because this is kind of what ties all the parts of it together. We already have our landing pages, we have our email sequence, and now we're going to create the form. So within Kajabi, you'll go to Marketing, Forms, New Form, and I'm going to call it Lead Magnet Opt-in. So here you have over here under the after submission, you can send the contact to a custom thank you page. This actually, the pipeline that Kajabi creates doesn't have a custom thank you page, but I like that. So I created one. So send the contact to a custom thank you page. And from here, thank you, lead magnet, thank you. And I like to do that because within a lead magnet, if you create a custom thank you page, then you can give people other ways of connecting with you. After they've gotten that lead magnet from you, there might be, at that point, they're excited. They want to learn more about you. So if you have a blog or a podcast or anything else, any other ways of connecting with you, you can, suggest that they follow you on Instagram. You can include all those on that thank you page. So that's a good opportunity that I would not skip over. Your form fields just have to be name and email, and then automations. This is where we're basically creating the pipeline to happen. So we're going to choose add automation when form is submitted. Then they're going to be subscribed to an email sequence. And that email sequence, I called it sales email sequence. Very original. Okay, save. So now we're going to save this form. That's all we need for this form, but it's really crucial that you get those couple things, at least just subscribing them to that email sequence. So now we have, okay, the lead magnet opt-in page. We're going to customize that. Because I already created kind of the outline of this sample lead magnet page. But within here, this is where that form lives. And we want to select from this box, you have this form drop-down. We're going to get rid of default form. We want that to be the lead magnet opt-in form. And you can save it. And it'll give you the option to connect it with a thank you page here within this opt-in page. You don't have to do that because we already set it up within the form. So we're going to save that there. So if we go back and check on the pipeline that Kajabi created, we've just recreated this entire process. We created the opt-in page, we threw in a thank you page, the sales page. So we have those 3 landing pages. We created a form, and then within that form, we created an automation. We created the email sequence that directs people to the sales page, and then the sales page directs them to that offer checkout page. So we created this entire process, and now we can just delete this pipeline because we don't need it anymore. We were just using it as a model. So we just went through the entire process of creating our own pipeline without using a Kajabi pipeline. And this can be useful, one, if you're running out of pipelines within your Kajabi plan. Also, I think it's just a really good idea to know how all the elements of a pipeline work together. You don't have to use Kajabi's page templates or their email templates. You can create an email sequence with more emails or fewer emails. You can do a lot more with it. Starting with a Kajabi pipeline template can be useful because you can see the structure that they create, but then it's up to you to create each of those elements on its own within your Kajabi account, make them exactly how you want it to be, and then really have a deeper understanding of how each of those pieces connects together. It's just going to make you a lot more able to create the pipeline, a marketing pipeline or a sales pipeline that's exactly what you want and exactly what works for your audience, not just be reliant on these Kajabi templates. So I hope that this was useful. I know that there's a lot to it. When you're first getting started in Kajabi, it can feel really overwhelming, but hopefully you watch this, go through it on your own, create your own kind of pipelines, and then you're going to be a lot more comfortable creating your marketing within Kajabi.